Do you know most salespeople don't fail because they are bad at sales? They fail because nobody prepared them to be confident while selling. Well, imagine something like this. You hit a gym and the coach there tells you to figure out how to work out. What would you do? You would pick up some weights, you will try, but you will probably hurt yourself and soon you will give up. That's exactly what happens with most sales professionals. They enter into the world of sales and then they are told to figure out. And guess what happens? Sooner or later, they struggle and then they convince themselves, they doubt their own abilities and they quit. And that's not good. In this video, I'm going to talk about how do you improve your success ratio, and while doing that, how can you actually gain tremendous amount of confidence in selling whatever you sell. Let's begin. Hi, my name is Sharat Sharma. I'm the founder of Simplify Sales, and if you have not met before, I would like you to do one simple thing. Hit the subscribe button and follow for a lot of sales tips that I'm going to bring to you, right? Let's begin and let's talk sales. Here is what happens with a lot of sales professionals, and I'm sure this has happened with you. You enter into the corporate world, you're being told that this is the product and you're being told, go figure out how to sell. And then you struggle because you do not have the capability or confidence to sell in the real world. Now, here is the truth. Products don't sell. It is your confidence that sells. And how do you develop that confidence? In just 5 weeks, that is exactly what I'm going to tell you. As you begin your job, here is the first thing that you must do. In the first week, you must spend time in understanding the product in and out. Now, this is your first week. In this week, you must understand the product very well. Now, when you say product, it doesn't really mean just the features, benefits, and advantages of the product. What it means is you need to know what problem does the product solve for the customer. Remember these guys, products don't sell. What sells is your confidence. What sells is a solution that the customer is craving for. You must understand the product really well and the problem that the product is solving. That's the week number 1 for you to gain tremendous confidence. Now, what happens after this? If you jump into the market with just product knowledge, you will encounter a lot of problems. And that's where week number 2, your job is to make sure that you spend a lot of time in understanding the customer. Have tremendous amount of knowledge about the customer that you are serving. Now, your organization might tell you who the ICP is, but imagine this, you have the product knowledge, you understand the ICP probably a little more. However, it's not just important for you to know the ICP, but what's important for you to know is also who is not the ideal customer profile, who is not the ICP. So when I say customer knowledge, understand who is not your ICP as well. In addition to that, now here is what you will do in the third week. Third week, you will spend a lot of time in developing the industry knowledge. Now, customers don't just buy the pitch, they also buy the insights that you bring to the table. Now, imagine what happens. You have the product knowledge, you know the problem that your product is solving, you know who the customer is, now you reach out to them. Now, an average sales professional will just talk about the problem, will trigger the customer in the right spirit. However, they fail when it comes to knowing the industry know-hows. What's happening in the industry? What are the advanced things that are happening? Now, these are called insights. Now, an ordinary sales professional just pitches. An extraordinary sales professional actually shares insights from the industry. So go out, watch that news, go out, do some research about what's the advancements that are happening in the industry. If you're selling a SaaS product, know about what's happening in the SaaS world. If you are selling an FMCG product, talk about what's happening in the FMCG world. If you are selling an HR tech product, think about what AI is doing, how AI is disrupting, and talk about that. That's what will help you stand out. That's your week number 3, right? Now, once you are through week number 3, you are much better off than the ordinary sales guy out there, because ordinary sales guys sell product, but you are now selling product, you are understanding the customer, now you have a deep insight of the industry. Now, what should you do to stand out? Here is what you should do. You should spend time in understanding the competitor. Your competitor is your greatest teacher. Well, your competitor is the one who is going to guide you about a lot of things. Now, here is why you should have the competitor knowledge. 1, you will face objections. Objections where, the customer might probably say, hey, your competitor is doing this, your competitor is doing that. Now, if you have awareness of what the competitor is doing, or if you have awareness of what the competitor is not doing, then you stand out. Then when those objections come in, then you know how to tackle them. You're a little more confident than anyone else out there. Do a deep analysis of what the competitor is doing. Well, not just that, when you know the competitor well, you can learn a lot of things from them. Maybe they are doing something and you are not doing it. Maybe they are using an outreach method which you are failing at. And that's a lesson for you. That's the reason I say your competitor is your best teacher. Well, now these 4 are your building blocks. Week number 4 is your competitor knowledge. Believe me guys, when you start doing this, you are going to stand out and people are going to fall in love with you as a sales professional. Because you are going to give them insights, you are going to talk about competitors, you're going to understand the customer a lot more, you're going to share this product features, benefits, in addition to the problem that it is solving, and you're way ahead of other people. Well, now if that serves the purpose, what's the 5th thing that you should do? Now, imagine you have all of this, but if you don't have the 5th one, you will fail. And why do I say that? Because the 5th one is the one which differentiates you from the rest of them. 5th week, spend a lot of time on understanding your own self. Why is it important? Because you are not supposed to be copying others. A lot of times I see that when you lack self-knowledge, you try to pick up some tricks and techniques from LinkedIn or from social media, and then you try to use it, and it is absolutely opposite to your personality. And then you falter and then you again doubt yourself. Why did that happen? Because you lacked self-knowledge. Know yourself, own yourself, and then go out and sell. You're not supposed to be just an extrovert. You're not supposed to be just an introvert. That's just a popular myth that's around. You're not supposed to be on high energy all the time. You are supposed to be your energy. You have a signature of your energy. Right? You should carry that one and not copy anybody and everybody out there. That's where people falter. Now, this is your 5-week plan, guys. Week 1, product knowledge. Week 2, customer knowledge. Week 3, industry insights. Week 4, competitor knowledge. Understand what the competitor is doing. Week 5 is all about self-knowledge. Once you do that, you stand out from the rest. 5 weeks. And that's what it takes to build that confidence and be a salesperson people love to talk to. Don't be like an ordinary sales guy. Be like an extraordinary one. Develop these 5 levels of knowledge. Now, just a little more time for you to understand. Imagine that you don't have a competitor knowledge. If I take this out from your equation, what would happen? You would go out, then you have those objections coming your way. What would you do? You would falter and then you would give up, right? And that's the reason competitor knowledge is extremely important. Now, imagine you don't have customer knowledge. You don't know the ICP. You don't know who the no ICP is, doesn't match the ICP, right? What would you do? You would reach out to anybody, everybody, somebody, hoping that some miracle would happen. And that's again, that eats up your confidence. Not a good idea. You need to have a lot of customer knowledge. You can personalize your approach when you have a lot of customer knowledge, right? Imagine that you lack industry knowledge. Now, what happens here is you would really be speaking, you will be selling well, but you will not be selling the best. Why? Because when you have industry knowledge, you stand out, you share more insights with your customers. That's what your customers like, by the way. Now, product knowledge is something that your organization probably is giving you, but that's not where it should end. You should develop these 5 levels of knowledge in the first 5 weeks. And believe me, you will be unstoppable when you start doing that. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if some of your friends must watch this video, do share it with them. And what did you like about this video? Let me know in the comment section. Bye for now. See you in the next video.